Namato Ratana Tayassa. May I pay homage to Triple Zim, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening, everyone. So today is 30th of Wednesday, the 30th of December 2020. This is Ajahn Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. So as usual, I'm here with you all tonight. Hello, Margaret. Good evening. I hope you're keeping well. Good evening, Sandra and Chen. So good evening. So today in our center again, another snow fall down, and it was lovely. When you look at this slow motion of falling down this snow, it's so hypnotizing, but yet so cold. And meanwhile, this evening, one of our center's member came to visit, but the whole ground and the road is frozen and very slippery. So she parked the car by the temple and just got out from the car, and suddenly the car just moves and slides, and then both of them were just pulling the car, and then I rushed to get the wood just to put under the tire, but again fell down. And then another lady, she was pulling a car, couldn't pull it, and fall. Then she also fell down, and it was quite a good laugh, but quite scary. And I hope that she is okay after fall down, and I was okay. I am okay now. So it was quite a bit of a sliding and quite scary. Well, this is a Scotland, and particularly living in West Hill, we normally do have more snow and frozen days that I have experienced over this few years' time of living here. I remember I even had a chance to make a snow Buddha and a few years ago, collected all the snow from all this road and make it like rather than snowman. Initial thought was to make a snowman, but again, I changed my mind and carve it into the Buddha. So like that, it was quite fun but freezing. So this is, and hopefully now this cold will and this icy roads will continue for a couple of days if no rains fall down. Temperature just get colder and colder. Meanwhile, we were supposed to be planning for the New Year Eve chanting, which normally we do start from 9 o'clock in New Year Eve and continue up to the 1 o'clock. In between chanting, meditation, Dhamma talks like that. So that was our plan. That's why we were working so hard that we could use a barn during this lockdown time, once it's released, then we will have this ban so we can use it in a social distance manner. But because of this moving into the tier 4, we have to cancel those events, but we will be broadcasting through the Facebook and the Zoom account. So the whole almost completed, and this afternoon I was along with Rudy, we're cleaning just to see any, and it's perfectly done. And just now the doors and the small storeroom needed to refurbish. On behalf of me personally and the center and all the monks, would like to extend my thanks to you all for all the generous supports and all the donations and all the helps towards this renovation work. And really, really grateful. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Right. So today, again, there are a few good news around in the UK in particular. Although there is a small bit of sadness that we will not be able to celebrate the Hogmanay Day, which is very important day in Scotland, more so important than the Christmas itself. But unfortunately, the First Minister has announced that rather than going away, stay at home. And the First Minister said the main message to all the Scottish people or living in Scotland is to make sure that no one visiting anyone others indoor just now. And although we know that this is the time of a Hogmanay and New Year, everyone would like to have a chance to go around and have a parties, but unfortunately this year would not happening. And this is again quite a sad thing, but again we have to accept the consequences of this a virus that spreading so rapidly over the period of a time. And by yesterday, it is also declared that over 50,000 new COVID cases were recorded, and among that, about 400 and over 400 more deaths were recorded within this 28 days of a positive tests. But however, the good thing is, good news is that the UK government has approved for use of a vaccine created, so-called the Oxford AstraZeneca, and which will be start vaccinating by Monday. And according to the news, it suggests that over the 500,000 of doses will be available by next week, and it will be distributed and it will be given to the people, which is starting from Monday. But unfortunately, it won't happen rapidly as we think so. The news says that the first priority will be going to the care homes and then senior citizens over 80 years, and then healthcare workers and healthcare and workers. So they will be the first priority, which is, again, we can understand why it is. Obviously, they are in the front line and they've been working from day one of this vaccine, of this COVID-19. And then more so, and then the government also announced that the UK has ordered 100 million doses of new vaccines, and which believed to be enough to vaccinate about 50 million people in the UK. And so this is another good news that we can hear today. The last news could be good and could be bad, and that is the Brexit deal, Brexit negotiation, which is the House of Commons has kind of approved, basically backed by 448 votes from the House of Commons for the Brexit deal, and which is going to be happening by, let's say, by midnight tomorrow. By midnight tomorrow. says 11 o'clock in on the New Year Eve. From then will be a new form of relationship with the EU. And one nice thing that Boris Johnson said, that nothing fear to do things differently. No need to fear to do things differently. And the news says that this Brexit deal stretches over 1,246 pages and covering 660 billion worth of a trade. Hearing that quite scary, and some people may say it is good that we come out from EU, and some people say no. So it's up to each and individual's decision and understanding and knowledge about the politics. And this is not the subject of my interest much, and I do not know much on the politics. So I'm just reading what is on the news, okay, just a summary of it that I have understood. But anyway, we are coming out, so we got the deal. Hope everything goes well. I hope everything goes well. So hello Yvonne, hello Emma, hello Nielsen from Malaysia, everyone, hello. So this is just a briefing news from a Buddhist monk. Like a BBC News. Right, so this is just a cover, just a basic understanding about what's going on in the world. Not covering any other countries, just UK, right? So meanwhile, this is a new year coming up. A new year is normally taken a very special day, and because of the COVID, quite surprising. In the past, normally we will be organizing the ceremonies and giving blessings and basically wishing. But this year, not only on behalf of the center, but also a few other organizations are inviting to be part of these blessings, and which is quite interesting, that what the COVID had done in this new world. We are all connected through this so-called internet, social medias, and like that. And in the past, before the COVID, we can hear so many things about how bad the social media is, and how much the social media has changed, the people's behaviors. And now suddenly, after the COVID again, this has become a part of the very essential part of the living. And this is what is quite interesting. And with that, I am invited to give blessing messages to so many other organizations, and which is quite interesting. And it never had, I never done before, but I think I can do it again. So this is just a background of what's going on, and with just saying this, I think today's time will be ending just about the BBC News and about the politics, rather than talking about any numbers today. But again, anyhow, I would like to just bring up, bring up the story that I have left about the Venerable Venerable Moggallana and Sariputta. The Venerable Sariputta was the first-hand secretary in a way to the Buddha, and Moggallana was the left hand. You know, among those two monks played very important roles in the propagation of Buddha's teachings. But one particular a section that I want to elaborate here was that there was another monk who was very well known as a forest monk, who had again a privilege to exchange his robe with the Buddha himself. And he was the only person who had got the exchange from the Buddha. And before Buddha passed away, he was practicing meditation in the forests, and he got deep insight, knowledge, and had a concentration and good wisdom, and then. But somehow he had some form of like wanted to express to the Venerable Sariputta. So the Venerable Kassapa went, when Mahakassapa went to Venerable Sariputta and discussed about his practice, and with a great sense of pride about his ability to see the world system. He said that 1,000 world system. So Venerable Kassapa, Mahakassapa, through his meditation, he was able to see this 1,000 world system. And he was like, he was like expressing to Venerable Sariputta, saying that he was boasted about his unshakable energy and his clear, untroubled, ability to be mindful. Basically untroubled mindfulness. And having heard these experiences that the Venerable Mahakassapa was telling too, Sariputta, and Sariputta simply looked at him face to face with puzzled and looked at him directly in his eyes and said that your so-called divine eyes is conceit. Your claim to energy are nothing but your conceit, and your mindfulness is simply worrying, not and nothing more. So here, the Venerable Mahakassapa, through the meditation, he could see the 1,000 world system, and he was so excited. And whereas when he mentioned to Venerable Sariputta, he simply said that is nothing, and that's only conceit. So that's why it is quite interesting to understand that in our practice of a meditation, sometimes after attaining some form of a calmness and some form of a stillness, that can generate pretty much so-called supernatural powers or psychic powers that allows you to see the world beyond in the naked eyes. And this is what the Mahakassapa was experiencing. And when he went to speak with Venerable Sariputta, he said, no, that's your conceit. Now, conceit is in the Pali word called the mana. Yeah? And this mana, as a conceit, again, is the form of a defilement that always hinders us from developing our practice, developing our spiritual understanding. Yeah? So that's why we have to take away this conceit or a pride of what you have achieved. But our goal is to understand things the way it is. Yvonne, yes, it's a news from Sujan. It's not a Boris, but it's Achan Sujan, Emma. Yeah, anyway, so So this is, and after Venerable Sariputta said so, Mahakassapa was shocked. And now this is shocked, you know, which I have experienced as well. Sometimes people approach and come to me and saying that, oh, Achan, I have been meditating and I have attained such a calmness and such and such. And then in that moment, they want to get the compliments or encouragement to do more. And when I say that, oh, that's good, but you have to give those away and come back to the present moment. And sometimes they're shocked as well. Yeah? So Venerable Mahakassapa was also shocked to hear that. And in this way, I have seen that people, those who are explaining that their achievements in the practice, and if I say that you have to give up, and sometimes they dislike it, and they dislike, and they simply, oh, this is what I was expecting, and now here in the practice of a meditation, we are not expecting anything. We are expecting to see things the way are rather than expecting something nicer or good that could happen to us, right? So this is quite a good the story that it always brings me into my mind, that no matter how much we have attained, we should check always that am I having a fixed view that this is the right one or this is the only one. It's called a ditti. This is the fixed view, and this fixed view always brings trouble. And we think that what we know is the right and the rest of others are wrong. And in this case, what we have to be careful is, what am I, is what what is the one that I'm knowing? Is it true or wrong? Now we have to investigate, check it again. It's called yoni somanasikara, rechecking, reinvestigating again, because each and everyone, their ability to understand is different. And this ditti, or the fixed view, we have to overcome. And when we don't have a fixed view on the things that we know as that is the truth, we know that this may be the truth, but we will not be imposing, or we will not be exaggerating and trying to convince others. So that this trying to convince others is the conceit that I know, I have achieved, I have understood. Now you should, and like this conceit. And then the third factor is the craving. And these are three factors we have to recheck again and again. So that's the fixed view. Whatever we have understood, are we holding that as the truth and only truth, and the rest are not? In this case, we are closing our mind. The mindfulness meditation helps us to open this and ability to accept and respect any views, any forms, whether right or wrong, because without having two lines, we do not know that which one is short and which one is long. So as long as we have got one line, then we have got the foundation. So do not hold on to the fixed view that the things I know is the right, and it should be the right at all the time, and everyone should believe in it. The second one is conceit. Conceit is some form of a pride that I am better, I am good, I am this and that than somebody else. So again, we don't need to compare. We know that we are good. We are established in a morality. We are established in ethical values. Then we know ourselves. We don't have to project and saying it. And so that's why it says action speaks louder than the speech. So that's the second one. The third one is the tanha, the craving. And we are feeding our mind every day. We are feeding our desire 24/7 days. We have to check every time when we are going to pick up something to eat, like the chocolates or some crisps. Is it that my desire, my craving, or is it my physical body need? So then checking it and noticing that. Meanwhile, sometimes, you know, we feel bored and we just want to go and do something. In that case, again, check it, investigate, looking at it. Is it, yeah, craving? So with that, you become more mindful of that, and gradually you will be able to come back to the normality and ground to the earth, become a naturalist. Become a naturalist. In a sense, we become humble, and we become a normal, not abnormal. So, with this, I end here for tonight's talk. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and may you all be well and happy. Take care of yourselves, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are going to have a long, long chanting from 10 o'clock to the 1 o'clock morning. So, if you want to join with us, you can join through on the Zoom, or follow the Facebook page. There will be a chantings and a guided meditations and a talks throughout the time. So with this, we're going to have a evening chanting and guided meditation. You're most welcome to join with us. Until then, good night and see you shortly. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.